In the last lecture, we talked a bit about how other people can play a role in our productivity, specifically when it comes to decision making. In this lecture, I want to take that idea a bit further and note how communication and dependency on others can play a big role in our productivity. As human beings, we're social creatures, and this means that for most of us, communication will take up a majority of our time. With that said, there are strategies to make communication more efficient without hurting feelings. In the beginning of the course, I talked about sending back and forth emails and waiting for responses to move forward. This is something that's covered in the Getting Things Done productivity system, and it's called an open loop. An open loop is something that basically drains resources by looping back and forth, such as sending emails back and forth. An example of this is an acquaintance that invites you to a wedding and to whom you reply, "Let me check my calendar and get back to you," when in fact you actually mean thanks, but no thanks. That open loop has created more work for both of you, as they'll have to follow up and you'll have to write another email or have another awkward conversation. Now, I'm not going to try to tell you how to communicate with other people. That's something that only you can judge, and you should always be yourself. But I will give you some suggestions as to habits you can implement into your communication style. The goal of making communication more efficient is to be polite yet firm and always direct. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Get directly to the solution rather than being indecisive for the sake of being polite. Here are some examples. If you're picking a restaurant with a friend over text message and they ask you, "Where do you want to go?" you already know to avoid the, "I don't know, where do you want to go?" But instead of writing back, "How about either Cafe Z or Taqueria?" you write back, "Let's go to Cafe Z." You just saved 50% of time in the interaction, but that's just the beginning. Another important aspect is to just tell it like it is. If you don't want to do something, don't leave an open loop. Just politely say no. If you have a problem with something, just tell the other person the problem as politely as you can right when you observe the issue. It'll save you both so much time and energy. If you learn to be direct in your communication and tell people exactly what you expect, want, or need without the fuss, you'll be amazed at how much faster things can happen, and usually without offending anyone. Examples of this include saying things like, "If you could, please respond back with the following 3 things," instead of a vague email and a list of questions. Short, direct communications are magical when it comes to efficiency, and unless you're in a culture where small talk is mandated for every interaction, most people will appreciate you saving their time as well as your own. Just in case, you can always throw in a sentence like, "Sorry to be so direct, but I'm sure you're very busy," to let them know that you aren't doing it out of rudeness. In my experience, most people will appreciate you being considerate of their time. Give it a try and see where you can minimize wasted effort and time using more direct communication and less indecisive deliberation.